Done and done. The equation is Q equals mc delta T. Here's what everything means. The Q is the energy in joules. As Nick knows, the M stands for?
What?
Mass in grams. Good answer. The C we just learned about is the specific heat. It's a constant that you can either A, look up, B, it's given to you, or C, you have to solve for that sometimes. And delta T is one thing. It's one variable, not two. It's change in temp. And it's usually measured in either degrees Celsius or degrees Kelvin. Why does it not matter which one it is? Yeah, you add or subtract 273, and so if I add or subtract 273 to two numbers and find their difference, it's the same as if I didn't add or subtract 273. So it really doesn't matter which one it is in usually. Sometimes you'll see it written as Q equals MC, and then instead of delta T you'll have T final minus T initial. Because that's what this means. Change in temp means T final minus T initial. So sometimes it's written this way, which is nice. Today, I'm going to leave it like this. Tomorrow, we're going to start solving for these two variables, and that's a little bit more math, and so we're not going to worry about that quite yet today, though. Let's look at that problem on in your note guide. Oh, it's going to be a problem, I guess. I guess you can't really see it, so... Well, here you can see the bottom. There you go. When you go through a problem like this, it's probably pretty important. There's a lot of numbers. People get freaked out. It's the first big math numbery kind of thing we've had in this class in a problem, So people get freaked out about that. Just go through, take your time, and figure out what variable goes where. 4-gram sample of glass is heated from 274 to 314 and found to absorb 32 joules of energy. Calculate the specific heat of that glass. Specific heat, what variable is that? It's C. So you're solving for C. Drexel. No, I'm not asking you a question. I'm just saying, shut your mouth. If it was me, oh yeah, you had nothing to do with it, Nicole. Q equals MC delta T. If it's me, I would rearrange this first. I know that not everyone likes to do that, but if I'm solving for C, I like to get it by itself. It's just easier. So I'll show you both ways. Let's solve for C. If I want to get C by itself, divide each side by M, and then divide each side by delta T. Right, and then they cancel out, and you would have Q equals M times delta T, just like I did over here. M times delta T equals C. The nice part about this is that you can just throw the variables in there and hit enter once and it's done. But again, it's not for everyone, so no judging. Either way you want to do it is totally fine with me. Don't care. But that's how I'm going to do it, at least for now. So you plug the variables in the Q. Which one was joules? It was 32 joules, I believe. Is that true? Yeah. Yep. And then the mass, what's the mass measured in? Yeah, 4 grams. And so grams is mass, so 4 grams. And now final temp minus initial temp. The final temp was what, 314? And the initial temp was 274. If you simplified it, it would look like 32 times, or over 4 times, what's that, 40? If you simplified that, it would look like 32 over 160. And if you simplified that, it would look like 0.2. And your label would be joules per gram times Kelvin. I was being very explicit here with the directions. You could just write this down and then have your answer. That's fine. I was just kind of showing you that I was simplifying it. If you hate that, if this is not your thing, and it probably wasn't my thing in high school, so no judging, but if you don't like to rearrange the equation first, then just throw the numbers in first. If you did it that way, your Q would be 32 joules. The M is still 4 grams. The C is what we're solving for. And the delta T was 314 minus 274. So you would solve this part first, and you'd have 32 joules equals 4 grams times C, and this would be 40. And you still want to get C by itself, so let's work on dividing things. You can divide 40. And you'd have 32 over 40 equals 4 times C. And you still want C by itself, so let's divide by 4 again. So that would be 32 divided by 40 times 4. It's on the bottom. Equals C, which is the exact same thing that I did over on this side. And you get the same answer. Obviously, it would be 0.2 joules per gram times Kelvin. Either way you solve this problem, you have to be comfortable with. And so if you like doing it this way because it's less, less calculator strokes, that's fine. With this way, you sometimes end up writing more calculator stuff, but it's up to you. But ultimately, you have to be okay with solving it one of the two ways. That is your job. Questions or feelings about that? I don't know.